So the next thing we will mount is the spring fixation plate for the choke, for the return spring for the choke. Don't worry about this bracket has lots of hole because it's meant to work with different engines. What you have to do is you loosen the cover, ideally on all screws. The upper one is the only one you actually take completely out. And then you can get it in between the cover and the engine cover, and it's basically built in a way that it will get stuck against the two bolts you did loosen a little bit, and the upper one will actually hold it down completely, so it can't go anywhere. And get it chimped in there, make sure it sits there, it will hit the bolts and not be able to move left or right, and the upper one is basically really holding it in place. So the next thing is modification of the lever for the choke. For this you have to take apart the air intake, the air filter. You don't really have to get it that crazy apart that you have the lever in your hand. There's actually enough room that you can go with a drill bit and a 2mm drill. There's enough room, and just carefully on the outside, on the edge, drill a hole. It's really easy done, and again, you don't have to take the whole thing completely apart. There should be enough room. Okay, next thing is the bracket for the choke, so that we can put the cable on later, the control cable which goes to the handlebar. We have to take the remote choke kit number 2. First remove the original nuts from the choke body, and we replace it with the extension nuts from this kit. Be careful when you tighten those down, because the whole thing is made from plastic, so you don't want to break it. So when you have both of those extension nuts on, then you take the bracket and take the 2 bolts you have in this little package and mount the bracket. So when you have the bracket mounted, you take the spring which is in the kit and hook it to the lever from the choke and to the plate. And make sure everything is moving smoothly, and then you can put the air intake back together. You can also leave it off if you want to, because you need to go to the gas cable connection later. But I think it's cleaner if you put it back on, so nothing can go in there. It's just all safe, so I put it back. So one thing will be the choke lever and the choke cable to be attached. You basically need those 2 parts, and one needs to be modified. We will modify the hole at the wire clamp so that 2 cables fit through, so typically a 4 or 5mm drill bit should do. turn the choke lever on the handlebar all the way to the right into the off position and use the cable with the yellow end. I will mount the cable retainer a little bit different than intended, because I don't really need to adjust it there, I just want to keep it in place. So we feed the cable with the yellow end through there. So now we take the cable and go through the eye of the spring and make a sharp bend. So we are holding on directly to the spring, not to the lever. When you have the sharp end, you put your cable clamp on, feed it through, make sure it's a really nice straight sharp bend, and then go through the eye of the spring again and feed it back into the cable clamp and tighten this down. The original manuals, they all called for 2 holes in the choke lever, but in this little piece of plastic, if you put 2 holes in, you can easily completely screw it up. So why not just hold on to the spring itself? It's a nice piece of metal, nothing can happen. Yeah, that's how it works. And then again, after you tried everything that it's tight and works, then just cut the excess cable.